Hi everyone, I've been working remote for 2 weeks. I wanted my daughter to touch grass. For the first time, I know what the Marble Machine 3 should do, what instruments it should have, what those instruments should sound like. And since last week, I also know what the Marble Machine should look like. Now when I feel confident about what machine I want to build, we can finally start to talk about how to build a machine and how to design it. So with the mock-up programming wheel telling me the style and look of the machine, it was time to ask the question how to build something like that.
All right, so in the last video, I presented this cheese grater concept with the curved base and its grid concept. And when being forced choosing between these two, 72% preferred the curved base. But then there was a lot of interesting other concepts proposed. A couple of viewers suggested to use holes instead. With a reader reading the holes, we obviously skip a lot of parts. But then there was a really cool suggestion. I want to use different heights to get different sounds. And then came the suggestion to use different widths of the holes to mimic the different heights and get more expressions. It's not a concept that is widely used within mechanical music instruments in the history of making them, and there's probably a few reasons for that. All the 180 channel readers would always drag on the surface of the wheel until there's a hole. And I also think it might be tricky to get the reader out of the hole. I think there are issues with this concept that makes it unusable for the moment. Can someone solve it? It's really interesting. Another concept a lot of people like is the full rings concept, where you just cut the entire cam ring per channel like this. However, the circumference of this wheel is 5 meters, so one song would be 1 kilometer of material, which I think is too much. Another concept is this chain on sprocket concept, which I also think is a really cool idea because the program becomes like a weave that you can weave onto a very precise wheel. However, again, this concept uses material even though there's no information. So let's say this channel only plays one note in the entire song. We still need to wrap 5 meter material to get to that one note. A few people suggested to use music box paper roll programming for the machine. That would give a lot of musical possibilities, but it will also turn the machine into a tape recorder. You press play and it plays the same mechanical music every time. It takes away the concept of turning a one revolution programming wheel into a dynamic song where I switches things on and off. The paper roll is a great tested solution. It works. It doesn't fit the feeling of the Marble Machine. Then EdFrac sent this, and as a concept, I find it really, really inspiring. Again, it's only one part, but we're getting the profile from this one part. And EdFrac, your solution has been used in the history of mechanical music instruments. It looks like there's only holes through these discs, but when we check the backside of this smaller little disc here, there's actually small curled up pieces of metal on the backside that is taking part in playing the notes. It's not straightforward how we would make this work, but it's a really cool concept. So thank you, Ed Frank, for sending it. One comment a lot of viewers had is that this solution doesn't give me the ability to program music on the fly. Axel sent this idea. So this is a 3D printed programming pin that has a snap-in feature. You click the profile in, and the timing is being taken care of through these tabs here, and then the snap only takes care of the fit. So I really, really like this idea. And most of the feedback was actually about this, but how should Martin be able to program music on the machine itself? I'm announcing a design challenge for the audience to perfect this design. Here's the design requirements. I'll put them in the description as well. Axel got so much right, but there's one thing we need to improve on here. When we have a lot of channels next to each other, the center-to-center distance will be really low, 10 millimeters or lower. So now we can see that we can't access the snap function anymore. Now let's go down to 4 millimeter body width. Remove the snap that we can't reach. Nothing is colliding. So an obvious design would be something like this. Perhaps not my finest work, but you put your finger here, you push it in, and you can snap it down into the base. So I think the solution shouldn't use a lot of width anyway, but I think you guys can make a much better design than I can here. So I'm really looking forward to your suggestions in the upcoming live stream next week. And this time you have more time to prepare your design. So send me Onshape links through the Google form in the description. You don't need to have Discord or anything. Just send me the Onshape links and we'll review them in the live stream. I'm super happy for any help on this. Worth noting is that the curved base will probably like 1 millimeter thin, meaning the base will not help a lot with perpendicularity, keeping the profile straight. And I guess some kind of solution would be to add like some kind of flange for perpendicularity. Let's put a design constraint to stay within 9 millimeters of width. And of course, we want to make it printable and everything. Here we can access all the snapping features, and the perpendicularity features is not colliding with the next programming profile.
If some of you have ideas for the click-in programming profile, I would love to see those through Onshape links. So when I was a kid, I spent all summers here. I didn't like school. I hated school. I didn't feel like I belonged with other kids somehow. The summer holidays was my freedom. And my favorite thing was to go into this shed and build stuff. I was standing on this beer box here because I wasn't tall enough to reach up to the working bench. And what my parents did so great is that they always left like scrap wood lying around, and I was allowed to build whatever I wanted with whatever wood, like no questions asked. Oh, and here's the random buckets. These are the random buckets I grew up with. And I still have them in my studio today. So it's legacy, it's not laziness. Screwdrivers. And the cool thing is that my parents were never like building with me. They just let me build whatever I wanted to build. Airplane. I was building like silly things, building like airplanes. You might think that this is an airplane. No, this is a spaceship. Fully functional, just like my marble machines.
And talking about programming wheels, I actually built another programming wheel in this woodshed here for my music box. I used a wheel from this soapbox car, I guess you could call it, and that became like one of the first custom instruments I ever built. So yeah, it's a lot of memories from this place.
And then my absolute favorite was when it was raining. I like ran from the house into the shed. So then in the rain, I could stand here, hearing the sound of the rain on the metal roof, building being completely dry. I had a little lamp here, feeling like the odd kid, not fitting in. This was heaven on earth for me. I fell in love with building a lot of years before I fell in love with making music. And this is where it all began. And when I'm building the machine, I'm standing dry in this shed, listening to the rain on the metal roof. And it's really thanks to all of you taking interest in my crazy projects that I can do that. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, I wanted to show you my shed. And I'm really happy to inform that we have now put up every name of the Wintergatan backers who are backing on the $5 level and above in my studio in Stockholm. Each and every name is up there finally. So thank you all for your patience. It took some time. It was quite a lot of names, but it was actually so fun putting them up. And I feel writing all these usernames, I get a closer relationship to all of you who are the cogs in the machine building the marble machine. So we can't thank you all enough. And in all honesty, we need the financial support more than ever. Thank you so much. Okay, so it feels great knowing what sounds the machine should produce and how I want the machine to look. And I was always scared like that the previous marble machines would be cooler than this one. Now I know they won't be. So in a couple of years, perhaps my daughter is standing on the beer box, building something at this bench. We'll see. If she does, I'm wondering if I'm able to keep out of what she's doing and just let her go like my parents did. But I'm afraid I won't have that patience with my daughter. We'll see. Zoom into the sun.